So Lord, we thank you in advance.
Good God afternoon, people of God. You have tuned into the solutions. I am your host, Minister Corey Wright. And as always, we know what the problems are. We know we need to solve them. What I offer on this platform is solutions, dedicated acts of action that bring about true change, not just talk about change. Excuses are man's tools of incompetence that build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothing. Toya Love, I slowed it down for you, dear. That's for you. People of God, I am here with a tremendous person, tremendous speaker, author, motivational leader. When you hear her speak, you guys, I'm telling you, your life is going to be immediately changed. Get ready, buckle up for this starship because it's about to take off. When I first heard her speak and I spoke to her, I was blown away. People of God, let me introduce you to my special guest, Vanessa Canterbury. Vanessa Canterbury, tell us about yourself and introduce yourself to the people.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here to share my message and hopefully empower more people to be able to speak up. I'm Vanessa Canterbury, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I am a single mother of 3 young adults. Went through a whole, young adults. I mean, I'm a teen mom. So I had my kids early in life and I experienced a lot of hardship growing up, coming from a single mother. And so just coming from a single mother and just dealing with those things that happen in her life that turns around happen in my father's life, in turns product of just confusion. And so when you have a lot of confusion going on, then now you're trying to fight your way through this life, this thing that we call life. And so you confused and trying to find your way in life is a whole lot of madness going on. There's a whole lot of dysfunction going on. And so you have this thing where you built up so much pain, so much questions and trying to find your way. And that was me all day long. I was just trying to find my way. And so even though I was trying to find my way, I knew there was a better way. I just didn't know how to start that way. But I knew that if I just keep going and it'll show up. And so with me just going through the journey of life at such a young age, yes, at such a young age, I had to grow up fast. I had to grow up really, really fast because I was a mother before I was a mother to my 2 younger brothers and sisters. So before I even had my first child at 16, I was already a mother, which is crazy. Wow. But sometimes you just don't never know the cards that's dealt. You want to handle those cards, you want to throw them in, you just got to deal with it. And so as I was dealing with it, you don't understand, but there's a meaning behind it. And so here I am. I knew that that's not the cards I want to deal for my children. And so I had to still go through this thing called life. I made a whole lot of mistakes. I made a whole lot of pain on my own life because that's all I seen was pain. And so I no longer wanted to be that person to have experience in this pain, but also now I'm going to go ahead and show my children how to go ahead and embrace that pain. That's not fair.
Well, take us back. Your dad and your mom wasn't together?
No, they was divorced.
And did you see your dad often? So
no.
He got divorced.
No. When you get divorced, your children are caught up in it. And I didn't matter because my brothers matter. I was the girl. I was the third girl, first girl, really, on both sides. But he would pick them up but not pick me up. So it was like I was just with my mom. I didn't know him like that. My brothers knew him, but I didn't know him like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's crazy, but you could be surprised at how many people experience that. You know what I mean? Even though they was married, but they got divorced when I was young. And so my brothers know him. I don't. So he went on with his life. She went on with her life, but they really didn't go on with their life. Is that making sense?
It does.
You know what I mean? So you could go on with your life, but you have not healed from all the pain that transpired through all of that dysfunction. And so now you got these children and it was okay. That's not okay to let your 2 go with the same father, but your 3rd one don't go. That's not okay. I mean, because we have to be real honest with it. Yes, boys, they need that strong part of a man, of showing them how to the manhood, the tools and all of that. But what about me? Did I not matter as far as needing to understand how a man's supposed to treat me?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you go through this thing called life, and you're trying to figure that thing out.
So how did your mom deal with that? I mean, how did she deal with you with that?
How did my mom deal with it? How can a person deal with it when they haven't dealt with it? That's two different things.
Come on.
So you could be able to just have this facade on your face and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and just handle it. But really, you're not handling it, because every time you move, there's a disruption that's going on some way, shape, form, or fashion in your life, because you haven't dealt with the things that happened in your past. So now you have these children. And now with these children, your children are going to react to the way you respond.
Wow. So you're 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And was your mom there, or she wasn't there, or you had to really step in to fulfill the role of big sister but surrogate mom?
She was there but wasn't there, because she was still trying to find her way. You know what I mean? Because what we tend to do, we tend to put layers on stuff and cover that stuff up, hoping that it's going to go away. And it don't go away because you never uncovered it. You never removed it. You never faced it head on. And so with you not facing it head on, yeah, you can go out there and produce some more kids. But still, again, what happens to the kids that you already have here? It makes no sense. You have to be able to deal with the situation that's right in front of you so you can be able to move forward. So you don't continue to make this dysfunctional mistake along the way of just growing and evolving and just being a mother of myself. I understand her pain also well, because I walked in her shoes, because I repeated her same cycles, but I was strong enough to be able to get out of it. She just showed me the tools. She wasn't strong enough because she was broken before she even had a chance. And that's a lot of people. They are broken. They're broken. They upbringing breaks them before they had a chance to be able to experience life.
Wow, that's a good point. We're talking about that now in Destiny Worship Life Changes Center on 7959 South Western. Pastor Robert Sam II is my pastor, and he's teaching on dysfunction. They'll be here next May, teaching a series on dysfunction, on what the box that our families put us in, that was passed generation to generation. And wow. And so then you had kids with the young man she was in love with. What happened with that?
That ended quick, fast, in a hurry. It ended. It was when you're young, you don't know what love is. You really don't. We have this puppy dog love. We hoping that this person will love us the way our father should have loved us, but instead we gonna hope this person loves us, and that person not even at that age and at that stage in their life to be able to understand the value of love, because they're probably going through something as well. But we too busy not paying attention. And so when you don't pay attention, you turn around again. I walked my mother's shoes. What you gonna do now? Are you gonna continue to walk in those shoes because you already understand this pain? But now you also got these children here. So are you going to do the work on yourself to remove yourself from that situation so you could be able to do some work on you so you don't continue on with your next relationship doing the same thing?
Now, now let's give everyone your website and your information because your amazing testimony and the things you've done is on your website. Give me your information now, and we'll go further into your testimony.
My website is inspiredbyvanessa.com. Inspiredbyvanessa.com. And inspired by Vanessa means empowerment that speaks to your soul.
Wow.
So when you hear me speak, when you hear me read one of my books, when I am coaching, whatever the case may be, your soul gonna move to the next dimension. Whatever that next dimension is that you need to move to, oh yeah, you're gonna get there.
Now, do you have any books with you today?
I do. I do have books here.
Okay, because we want to buy some of these people. We want to get these books. Hey, Miss Lewis.
Here's my Breaking a Cycle book. And they're both bestseller books.
Both bestsellers.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I have another book that my very first book, which was weird, is called Shifting the Mindset. And that went straight
People,
to
you gotta buy these books.
went
Blow
straight
these
to
books up.
Amazon, and it went bestseller in 4 hours. And I didn't even know what somebody else told me. And then I turned around 3 months later, I put out this book that I've been holding on for 5 years.
So with these books at Amazon, are these self-published books in Amazon?
I self-publish my books. The crazy part about it is that people fail to realize is that somebody's always going to tell you something that you can't do. You know what I mean? And then if they tell you that you can't do it, it's because they have lost it for themselves. They felt they couldn't do it. And what I chose to do, I chose to take the things that I've learned about on this journey to be able that I allow myself, not somebody else, I allow myself to be broken in order for me to be blessed. And not only for me to be blessed so I can be able to bless other people. I never knew that it was going to be a book. It was a prayer for my children. That was it. For me not to pass on the same dysfunction that I experienced to my children. And that book, that prayer turns into a best-selling book.
Wow. We got to definitely talk about the books. I got some books. Okay, now let's go into your you had your kids,
Mm-hmm.
and you're very educated, so you did go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about how being a single mom and end up working for corporate America.
Well, I went to school. I have a high school diploma. That's it. Yeah. So, but I got more degrees than people have that pay for them because I run circles around people, and it's not trying to be funny. But when you know who you are and what you bring to the table, and you know how God is using you around people.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I use the message that He has poured into me, because you cannot pour into somebody else on an empty cup. You just can't.
Come on.
So if I'm going to continue to pour into people, I got to allow Him to pour into me. So you have to sometimes sit down somewhere and listen. And I do. I sit down and I listen. Honestly, I tell you, when I finally push play and say, you know what, I need to get this book out that I've been holding on to for 5 years. How do you hold on to something for 5 years?
Wow.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people do it. They hold on to stuff for 5 years that somebody else needs it, right? But see, I had to go through some old stuff in my adult life. So even though I have a high school diploma and I raised children, I worked in corporate America for 20 years to end up getting laid off in 2011 and turned around, couldn't find a job for 2 years with 20 years experience. Was the hardest part that I had to make, and the decision I had to make, because I have to make this transition. Transition causes change.
Come on.
We don't want to change. We're comfortable. We're complacent. Well, that change that happened to me was necessary. And deadbolt was put on that door for a reason. I was not allowed to go back into corporate America because He wanted to use me for greater, but I had to be able to embrace that and surrender to that. And that wasn't easy. To doing things our way. Well, our way got me where? Nowhere. Even though I worked and I got me a house and got me a car, raised children. Okay, and for you. And that's why I love what I do. I never thought I would do all the things that I do. And that's one of the things that I do when I'm coaching. I break down that W-2 mindset. Business.
Come on.
Because that's what we
look at it.
Okay.
I told y'all people she was bad. Did I tell y'all? I hate to be the one to say I told y'all so. Okay, so you couldn't find a job. What did you say? You know, everybody said that moment clear. I woke up one day and I said, you know what? It's time to do something different. Tell us about that day.
That day I cried so much. I was on my knees and I was crying. And I was in my room, and I went through so much in 2 years. And in 2 years, I went through so much. And I was lost. I was a lot. Yes, you could accomplish so much. You know who your people are when you going through that. And that was the test in my life where I lost it. I lost darn near everything. And it was revealed to me, the people, family, and friends, the ones that need to be removed. You got to start removing these people, Vanessa, because they can't go where I'm ready to take you. And I had to accept that. I had to accept it. And so I was crying. I was beating down doors, begging for someone to hire me, and nothing. And I knew that unemployment was going to run out. My bank account was low as heck. And hopefully I wasn't going to get an overdraft fee the next month. And I had to be able to be honest with my situation and just surrender and say, you must have something bigger for me. But whatever it is, you go ahead and have your way. And it was crazy because beginning of the new year, and I was watching TD Jakes. And he looked at the camera. He said, this is your season. This is your opportunity. You take it and you run with it. And I cried like a baby. I said, wait a minute, hold on. But see, this is the thing that we fail to do often.
Come on.
We will pray about an opportunity, but we the first ones to run from it.
Wow. Say that again. Say that again.
We are good for praying for an opportunity, but the first ones to run from it. I no longer want to be that person to run from an opportunity because I know that my situation is what caused me to be in this right here. So I'm going to be open to opportunity. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to do it all. But I want to be open, and I allow myself to surrender. So I wasn't going to take it back this time. So with me just going through that moment, doors open. Like there was no, it was just the most craziest thing. But he was waiting for me to say yes. And that's what he does. He's waiting for us all this time. We think that he forgot about us, and he really didn't forget about us. You forgot about where your faith lies, who you're supposed to lean on. You too busy worrying about everybody else. You too busy getting permission from them when you need to be going to him. But see, that's what we do. And I no longer wanted to do that.
Okay.
So I had to remind myself, who was there for you when you was going through, when you was raising these children by yourself, when you was making sure that you didn't want to, who was there all along? And so I had to remind myself, go back there. And so once I went back there, I surrendered. I said, I'm done.
You said a lot of opportunities. Tell us about some of those opportunities that happened.
Oh my goodness. Scary opportunities. Scary opportunities because we don't want to invest in ourselves. We don't want to spend no money on us. We don't want to spend money for our greater. We don't want to do that. That's why majority works a job and majority are broke.
Okay, you're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? We too busy doing that. We have to make sure there's nothing wrong. I'm not trying to knock anybody who have a job because I did it for 20 years. The problem is when you don't have nothing outside that job. Because if that job said, you know what, we no longer can make your paycheck for the next 2 weeks, what are you going to do? Yeah, you can go to unemployment. I did it. Then what?
Okay.
Are you going to constantly be a consumer, or are you going to learn how to be an investor? Are you going to constantly let somebody write you off, or are you going to learn how to write some things off? Choice. So you could be able to do something different. So once we get out of that W-2 mindset, we could be able to move forward. Better decisions for our future. And so the opportunity had presented itself, and I scared the heck out of me, but it made sense. So I turned around, and the opportunity was we have a direct sales business. And that's how I started. Direct sales business. And I don't do direct sales. That's not what I do. I come from the administrative field, but it made sense. And I was like, okay, but how the heck you do this? I don't know. So I was like, let me stop doing this. Okay, let me stop second guessing, because that's what we do. Out of some stuff, and I didn't want to do that. And so I turned around and I took a leap of faith. I invested in myself, and I didn't look back. And so it allowed me to be able to generate some additional income, and I help people around the world. And then it turns around and allowed me to be able to start my next business, which is my speaking, my coaching, and my author. That start that business. So you gotta build it some more and build that too. So
officially, when did Inspired by Vanessa start?
Inspired by Vanessa started 4 years ago. Like documented 4 years ago. And I was doing it way before then, but I was like, just, you playing around with it. Like, okay, what do I really want to do with this? And then next, my daughter said, I said, well, what do you name your business? My daughter said, Mom, you need to say Inspired by Vanessa. I said, why would you say that? She said, because you always inspire people. And I said, yeah, that's true.
Right.
And I was like, well, what does that mean? And that's when empowerment that speaks to your soul. And it just slowly but surely just took off.
Inspired. That's why I went to the barbershop before I got here, because I figured you gonna come here, I'm gonna make sure I look sharp. Her daughter back there like, yeah, he sure do, honey. Wow. So you start coaching them, and did the book come after, or it came before?
The book came last year. Both of these books came, all three of my books, I have 3 books came out in 1 year last year. and they all went bestseller. And I'm working on my next book that's coming out in June. So
you said bestseller. We talking about millions of books.
The thousands, we gonna claim millions, amen.
Millions, we gonna millions. You gonna help me get my book out there? Yeah. High five to that.
Hello.
All right, she gave me high five, y'all.
Yeah, and I just started. The crazy part about it, somebody told me that's gonna cost me $6,000 for my book out, and I said $6,000. I said okay, but what does that include? I mean, $6,000 for what? And so I continue to hold on to the book. For more than not just the money part. I held on to the book because this is me. I'm giving you a piece of me, of my story, and people are mean, and so you could again go back into that. I don't want to do it, but I know somebody needs to hear the messages of the things that help me to overcome my brokenness, right? And so I said, well, you know what, Lord, the people that needs to come into my life to be able to help me get this book out self-published, where it's not going to change and make it their story, but it's my story. Careful with that, because people will turn your story around and make it for them. Okay. But it's your story. And so I was like, okay, how do I do this? And I turned around, and people just kept coming to my life about various things. And I was like, what? Get out of here. But see, again, when you lean on him,
come on.
You know, so and so I turned around and I took that prayer and I activated that faith and self-published my book that I've been holding on for 5 years. And when I say I put this book out, it's like the most craziest thing. Like, come on. It just went bananas. And I was like, what the heck? And people was like, you just don't know how much you helped me. And I was like, really?
Did you promote it? Or?
Oh, yeah, I promoted it. Oh, yeah. I promoted it. I learned marketing. I was like, what? And this is something, again, people tell you that you can't do. And I did. And I market the heck out of the book. It's on Amazon, it's on my website, it's all over social media. My daughter posted a book of her taking a picture of that book, and it went crazy. And the orders just kept coming in more. And I was like, well, then I started seeing things coming in like from Amazon, like, okay, you've been paid. I said, hold on, what?
Wow.
So you have to be, if you want it bad enough, you're gonna make it happen, right?
And if it's good, people gonna be a path to your door to get it.
This is the thing they say, and I tell people all the time: you are the problem, or you can be the solution. Which one?
The solution, y'all. I love it. I love it.
You know what I mean? So you have, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of problems, and people are looking for solutions. Which one are you going to be?
And now you also do radio.
Yeah, I did radio.
Okay.
I did do radio. I switched it over and moved over to podcast because it just made it much more convenient for me, because I am a co-owner of Changing Minds Online. And what we do, we spotlight people who are changing minds online. And we give them an opportunity to share their message on our platform, so they could be able to, so people could be able to say, okay, dang, somebody is out here doing X, Y, and Z. I was looking for that, whatever the case may be. So, yeah.
Put my hand up, people of God. There you go. There you go.
So, yeah.
Wow. And now I know people are listening right now, like, okay, you have come from some very adverse situations. And now you are known globally for your amazing speaking ability. What would you say to them to inspire them to say that about your situation, about your actions?
Oh yeah, you're not defined by that. The best thing for you to do is to get up, to take action, to be able to know who you are. Be authentic. That's the best thing that you could be. Nobody is a better version of you than you.
Come on.
And so if you just be who you are, people will gravitate to that, and that alone. You are your own competition. It's not to your left and it's not to the right. You are your own competition, because what I bring, I know what I bring to the table, right? And so I'm good at what I do. And so with that being said, you have to know that you are good at what you bring. You have to also understand that you have a purpose. You have a calling on your life. You got to stop, putting the call to voicemail, three-way calling, and seeing if this is real. You have a calling. When are you going to answer the call to your calling? Because we all have one. And I had to answer that call. So answer your call to your calling so you can be able to do what you love. When you wake up every day, you love what you do. And if you don't love what you do, then you need to question, how can you be able to change that around so you can do what you love to do? You know what I'm saying? You could do it, but are you willing to put the work in? Because this didn't happen overnight. This did not happen overnight. This was some sweat, some tears, some questions. You have to go with your gut feeling that this right here, this thing right here, this thing that you have, that you've been birthing and you've been holding for so long, it's time to push. It's time to push and stop playing with this thing. Because somebody is waiting for you. Somebody is waiting for your story. Somebody want to know, how did you overcome? Somebody is waiting because somebody over there is suffering. And it's not fair for them to suffer when you already overcome that situation. So why not share your story? Come on. You know what I mean? So when you know that you got what that could be able to give the antidote to what could cure some people, you need to be able to show up.
Now, wow, you got me at you know, and you know, I can talk forever, but you got me like, you know, I want to hear some more Hercules. That is so powerful. Okay, now let's get into your faith, because I can tell, and Spirit is showing me you're a great woman of faith. Do you go to what church you attend? Who's your pastor? Look at them hearts flying in here. Are you a minister? Do you speak?
I'm not a minister.
About your religious.
I'm not a minister. I'm just a vessel, living vessel. I'm a walking testimony. I went through a lot of tests, and so I have a lot of testimonies. Go to the Church of House of Hope.
With Pastor Meeks.
Yes, with Pastor Meeks. And so yeah, and I just instilled that into my children to make sure that you have a foundation. I wanted to make sure they have a solid foundation, not a shaky foundation, because society is already shaky. Okay. But I wanted to make sure that my children have a solid foundation so they could be able to say, because we all going to go in our own direction, and I may not agree, but they're gonna come back on home.
Well, tell us little bit about your kids, their age, their names. we got one soldier with you right now.
My oldest one, her name is Chantrell. That's she'll be 25 this year.
25. Whoa.
Yeah, she'll be 25 this year. The one who's with me, my mini me is Khadijah. She'll be 23 this year, and my baby, well, he's not a baby, but Emmanuel, he'll be 20 this year. So my children are my biggest supporters. Okay. We did this thing together. Hit rock bottom, and to be able to come and now stand. You know, when I say hit rock bottom, I hit rock bottom losing my job. So for my children to see that it's possible to get back up, get back in line, and start walking again, it's the most amazing feeling, because where I come from, you don't get that. You don't get that, Mama. What you are so amazing. Kids still spend time with me. You know, at that age, they don't really spend time with me. They don't normally do that, but my kids, they love spending time with me. My son, he was just promoting my book to one of his friends who couldn't stop reading the book. My daughter just was with me to be able to sign a contract so I could be able to do a woman empowerment event. And I'm an introvert all day long. Give me some, yeah, and people don't believe it, but I'm an introvert all day long, but I know I got a powerful message. And so my daughter's like, Mom, it's time, you got to do it, because people been asking. And that was the hardest thing. She finally seen how it was when we went out in public, and I was overwhelmed, how people are starting to know who I am. And so she was right there just cheesing all day long in the background, cheering me on. And so my children, that's right there is my foundation to be able to say, dang, my mama's a single mother, but she came through. You know, just because she was a teen mom and only have a high school diploma, my mama still came through. A lot of people would have just said, oh, well, I only got a high school diploma, I don't even matter. That's not true. You do matter the next day. So you do matter. You have an opportunity to make it better for your children. You could be able to make minimum wage, but there's still ways to make it better. There's ways, and they show me every day. Like when I go see them right now, because you know they got the young guys. And I said, you know what? This is the book that's coming out. And I was like, okay, these are the colors. And my son looking like, Mama, that don't even look right over here. My daughter's like, well, Mama, if you just change this over here and change it. And I go back to them and tell them, okay, this is the final version. Okay, leave it right there. Don't, you know what I mean? Because that's what we need. That's my team. I can't make no moves without my team. They my ride and die. That's who been with me. When my mother wasn't strong enough to be able to say I'm proud of you, or my father didn't even show up and say I'm proud of you, or any family, that's okay. But when they start seeing these books and they seeing Vanessa Canterbury on social media, they go after my children. And so, yes, people come out of the woodworks now. Family and friends are coming out of the woodworks now because they see I'm on social media and people starting to know who I am. And so my kids be like, don't do that.
Trying to get
that's
some
my
crumbs
mama.
Off your table.
That's my mama. Don't do it. See, if you didn't starve with us and you didn't go through the things that we went through,
come on.
The best thing for you to do is to stay over there, because you was eating steak and we was over here eating ramen noodles, but we were still together and holding this thing together. So when you have that type of faith, then you could be able to know who was there for you and who was not for you. Because when I had the money, when I was working that job, you was right there in my face. But when I no longer have this job and now I need you to help me out to be able to get gas in the car, put money on the table, you was nowhere to be around. So when I say you was eating steak, we was eating ramen noodles. You go over there and eat your steak. It's okay.
Now y'all eating filet mignon.
We are very humble. I always tell my children, no matter how much money you make, how far you go, where you live, you stay humble. Because somebody is out there under the bridge eating at the garbage can.
Yes.
Somebody don't have clothes on their back. So while you are, I always still that in it before I became a businesswoman. When you are giving away your clothes that no longer fit, you go and donate those clothes. You know what I mean? Because somebody else could still wear those clothes. If they are, you could still, they decent, you can wear, give them to somebody else.
Now, let's get right there. Rock bottom. There's somebody right now, rock bottom. Because, I've had some shows recently about domestic violence, about people who've been molested as kids.
Read the book.
And keep quiet. Things and people that right now is going through things of that nature. You got somebody right now in the corner, Vanessa. They got a drink in front of them. They got a loaded gun in front of them. Suicide. They're like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know what I'm going to do. Vanessa, tell me something.
That was me. That was me all day long. And I had to remember.
How so?
Oh, my goodness. When I hit rock bottom, I went through depression real bad. Contemplating how I could be able to just take myself up out of here. Oh, my goodness. It was horrible. I had went through so much dark days. But you got to understand, in those dark days, when you're going through what you're going through, you need to hold on to give God something to latch on to. If you're not reaching out so he can latch on to you and pull you through those dark days, then what you're going to do, you're going to keep on slipping away, right? But if you latch on through, it may hurt, but there's pain in your purpose, and you have to understand the pain. This is just temporary. It's for a reason. No matter how much mess of a test that you feel that you're going through, in that mess of a messy mess, there's a testimony. It is, because if I give you $100 right now, it done went through the rain, it went through the snow, went through some mud, it was even ripped a little bit. At the end of the day, the value still remains the same. So if you don't understand your value, I want you to hold on, I want you to latch on, I want you to go ahead and understand that he's ready to pull you through. He's been waiting for you all along. He's been calling you. He even had somebody come knock on your door. Even in the middle of the night, he will turn your situation around. I'm a living testimony of it. But you have to understand that you need to listen to the silent voice, not the one that makes all the noise, that's making ruckus, that's all negative. The silent voice is something that's going to be positive. That silent voice is speaking to your soul right now. And he's been telling you all along, I've been calling you. even went through your auntie, uncle, and all them to call you, but you still didn't answer. So I'm gonna go ahead and send this box. This box is gonna look crazy right now. It's gonna sit at your doorstep right now. It's been messed up right now. But you gotta understand, this box may not be pretty, but up on the inside of that box, when you open up that box, it's going to be something that's going to be absolutely amazing. But I need you to open up this box. If you trust me enough, you're going to open up that box. You're going to stop, because I've been trying to get to you all types of way. Your phone's disconnected right now, but you got Wi-Fi, and I still been calling you.
Wow. People of God, I told you she was bad. Okay. Out there that's got a book in them, a business in them. Somebody saying, how do I get started? What is the mindset and the mind frame I need to have for Vanessa Canterbury's success? If you want it bad enough, like real bad enough, you don't have excuse-itis. Okay, no excuses. No. Excuse-itis. Excuse-itis. What's excuse? Excuse-itis is you got a habit of making excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses. That's what I'm beginning of my show. It's man's tools of incompetence that build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothing. Come on. You have to remove that. You really do. Somebody done told you that you can't do it. That's that W-2 mindset. But you allow them to tell you that. W-2 mindset. I love it. You know what I mean? You have to be able to understand W-2 in order to make the transition to the 1099. We got to break that mold of that W-2. What allowed you to stay there? What allowed you to stay stuck? Why did you allow somebody else to keep you stuck? Worked that job, right? And you wanted to go for that promotion, but they told you can't qualify for that promotion, but you end up doing that job and not making that money. But you allowed them to do that to you. That's that W-2 mindset. You have to get out of that one-way thinking. Why do you have three ways? If you look at a cubicle, it's three ways. There's only one way in and one way out. So you have to get outside of that mindset. So if you go get Shifting the Mindset that's on Amazon right now, that's a bestseller, you will understand. You have to shift the way you're thinking. Just like the heart has some vessels on there, it goes different ways to get to your heart to get that blood flowing. The same thing with your mindset. You got to get out of thinking of the reality shows as the way to go. Reality shows, but that's not the way to go. You know what I mean? You have to be able to think so differently. Your thinking got to be so crazy. Like, you want to blow some people's mind, but most importantly, you need to be able to blow your own mind. When you read something, you want to say, dang, did I just read that? Did I just write that? Did I just say that? Absolutely. Still to this day, some of the things that I say, I'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, where's the replay? Did I say that? But see, because I know who I am and I know that I'm walking testimony, I understand that I'm a vessel, he's going to show out and say whatever he needs me to say to his people, because at the end of the day, we are his people. Really have a made up mind to say, I'm ready to set my mind free. Your mind cannot be free if it's stuck. If you behind that jail cell, if you behind that box, if you in the box. See, I don't fit in the box, period. I don't care how big of the box you're going to get. I don't fit in the box. I no longer put myself in that box, because what I have, the gift, the purpose that I have, the message that I need to bring, it can't be boxed up and delivered to you. You have to have a made up mind that I'm going to do this thing scared, crazy, and all. Because every time I write a book, every time I coach, every time I speak, I'm like, my next book right now, I'm scared. But I want to be scared. Because if you're not scared enough, then it's not worth putting out there. You want to be so scared when you put that book out there, you was like, dang, I did it anyway. You know what I mean? Because when I put my Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness book out, it scared the heck out of me, because I'm giving you a piece of me. My next book is called Do I Not Matter? I'm giving you another piece of me. You see what I'm saying? Because that piece of me was a piece of me that allowed me to be able to put it into a book, because I know somebody else will understand, and they still question themselves. Do I not matter? Well, yes, you do matter. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you matter. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't know. I said, see, this is the thing. I said I was writing one book, which is we're Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. That's the book that I said I was writing. God shows different. When you surrender, that's a whole different ball game. Mindset came out 3 months prior. I wrote that ebook in a weekend, in 4 hours. I never put nothing out in that 4. But then Breaking the Cycle came out. It was just flowing. I was like, whoa.
But that's what happens when you stop doing what you say you're going to do and just go ahead and get to the passenger side and let him take you to your destiny.
Wow, the people love you, love it. You have talked and coached many people.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen yourself in somebody, and was that a very emotional, jarring experience that you seen somebody going through exactly what you went through, and it just you up inside? Tell us about that.
It's weird. It's like the most weirdest thing. I could pick up something, and before I pick it up, whatever it is that I'm picking up, I will ask them, "Can I go deeper?" Sure, go deeper, and that's
like a prophecy.
I don't know. Don't look. Take it up with the good old Lord. I tell people that all the time. Take it up with Him. And when I go deeper, it's like the most. I can never tell somebody else the next thing I just told that next person. It was just for them. It scares the heck out of me when I'm done, but it takes everything out of me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like I'm exhausted after. If I coach and it went so deep, or if I speak, it went so deep. That means I did what he told me to do. That was him. That's it, right? And so when those people come to me, like this lady who I'm about to get ready to start coaching, and even a pastor I'm about to get ready to coach, it was the most craziest thing. I was like, what? And that conversation with them scared me.
Okay.
And when it scared me, I was like, what the heck? But I was like, this is nothing but God. This is some craziness right here. But he said, you're capable of doing it. That's why I brought them your way. And so we have to go deep. I don't do the surface coaching. You got all that makeup on, you cute and all that. Okay, Ann, let's remove all of that. Let's go deeper. What got you to this point right now that you were experiencing all of this pain and dysfunction, this hatred? What got you right here, right now? And so I will go that deep into to be able to help them to be able to remove that layer. And then they have assignments that they have to go back and come back and give me the answers. And I will be monitoring every single thing they do. And they were like, how did you know that? Don't worry about it. So you have to go so deep with people because it's something that's the W2 mindset. That's exactly what it is. Because you've been in this mindset for so long, you have to be broken from that. You really do. So say if somebody have this mindset of just constantly keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it's like, we are creatures of habit, but you know that you're not moving, but you keep doing it anyway, but you complaining about it along the way. It makes no sense. Why do you constantly keep doing this, but you know that you have something more bigger that's in store for you, but you can't keep doing old things to expect new things to happen?
I've been saying that. Wow. Doing the same old thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, get your life.
Now, let me ask you a question. Who is Vanessa? And, because I have a friend of mine, and she was on my show. She means so much to so many people. Mm-hmm. But sometimes her life feels in turmoil. Mm-hmm. Feels like she can rescue everybody else but herself. Yep. How do you prevent yourself from doing everybody else but leaving you behind?
Let me tell you something. I did that. I'm out. The person behind me, my daughter, she said, Mama, you got to stop rescuing everybody else.
She's smart, Hercules.
She said, you have to stop doing that. And I was like, what? And it's crazy because I had to learn that at my darkest moments. I was like, you're nice, but you're too nice, right? You have to have time for you. You can't keep feeding it into them, and now you done took on their problems with you. Now you got this world on your shoulders, as I call it, the weight capacity.
Come on.
Do you know your weight capacity? I had just did a Facebook Live about that. You have to know your weight capacity. So if your weight capacity is constantly keep dragging everybody else with you on this wagon, and you're supposed to be somewhere else, but you can't get to that destiny because you keep taking this dead weight with you, You can't get over here, right?
Come
and
on.
so I had to unleash and let those people go. When I asked God to reveal and remove those people that's not supposed to go on this journey with me, he revealed them. It was the most painful thing, but he also removed them because they was not meant to go on this journey with me, because they was weighing me down, family and friends. And those that's supposed to be in your space, in your journey, they will show up. He will bring them to you. You know, like they say, there's a time and a season for everybody. Well, sometimes you should let that season of those people go a long time ago, but you choose to hold on to them because you so invested into them, but they haven't invested into you. Pouring into people, but they have not poured into you. It's not on the same level. Like they say, when people get married, it's unevenly yoked, and they wonder why they divorced or they go on a rocky. You know what I mean? You have to reevaluate your relationships with these people. If you constantly you want to go somewhere else, but they constantly want to keep pulling you back, you got to let them go. Cut your ties and move on. And I had to learn that. I had to just cut my ties and move on.
Being motivational coach Vanessa Canterbury, does that affect your relationship wise with men? I mean, do you do they feel like they can't get to know you without getting to know the coach, or how do you cipher between the two? Or are you involved now? And does it being a coach makes it like, because strong?
I've learned along the way.
I know she looked like, this guy is pretty good. Hey, what's your daughter's name?
Khadijah.
Khadijah, I'm pretty good, huh? Yeah, thank you. Hercules.
Well,
over there hate. But this over there hate.
you learn along the way of when you in a relationship, if you cannot talk about goals with that person, or that person can't support you and vice versa, then you got to reevaluate some things. But at the same time, you also have to turn it off. And it is, and my children had to tell me, like, Mom, your phone rings so much. It was getting out of control. And so even if I am talking to somebody, it's crazy. I had to turn that off and have a separate line so I could be able to have my personal line, so I could get my personal life in order. I had to learn that. And that wasn't easy, because I never want to go back to that place where I hit rock bottom of solely having that W-2 mindset. I worked too hard to break that mold of that W-2 mindset. I don't want to go back there. But now I have to make sure that separate that in my personal life too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, let me just go back a little bit about your past, and let me bring it today. Your mom and your dad, are they still alive?
Yeah, they're alive.
And has you since or spoke about the things that happened to break that bloodline? Because we're teaching now in church about breaking generational curses. And I said that all the dysfunction that happened in my family will stop with my bloodline. God, don't just wash me clean, but wash my bloodline. Have you guys resolved all those issues from the past?
Okay. Can I go deeper?
Go deep. Come on. Go super deep. Go super deep.
Sometimes you have to accept the fact of who they are. We cannot pick and choose our parents, period. We can't pick and choose our family. If they are so deeply rooted in their dysfunction, you have to be able to accept that. You have to accept that. And because if you don't accept that, you're going to continue to be dysfunctional just along with them, period. I had to be able to make decisions that's best for me, to not to carry on their dysfunction that went way beyond me. Beyond me. I had to go work on me. Now you go work on you. You know what I mean? Because I'm your daughter, yes, but you have to go do the work on yourself. You know what I mean? Because now it comes across as if I'm already the outcast anyway, before I became this Vanessa Canterbury, this businesswoman. But now I'm really an outcast because, she knows it. I don't know it all. I just know what worked for me and what's working for the people that I'm connected with, that's going to be able to help them to not continue on this dysfunctional cycle and pass it down by generation by generation. You have to accept the fact that they're going to be who they're going to be, period. You're going to have to learn how to love them from a distance. I love you. really do. However, your brokenness, it broke me too long. But to just say, you know what, I will check on you. I will be there for you. I'm not going to stop loving you. I'm going to keep on praying for you. But I have to be able to separate myself because you're going to take me back there. And I refuse. I worked all my life to get to this point in my life to allow you to take me back there. That's not going to happen. Not today, not tomorrow.
You know, I'm sorry. You remind me of Color Purple. All my life I had to fight.
You just going to have to accept the fact they are who they're going to be. You can't change them. You just can't. Period. Do I love them any less? Absolutely not. I love the heck out of them.
Let me ask you a question. How does Vanessa Canterbury flesh herself out? I've had this problem being a minister, and I'm a motivational speaker myself, and I'm speaking, and I like to lift and empower people. But sometimes people just call me constantly, and just they don't want the help, but they just want to pour their negativity. And just like a diet, I have to watch what I eat, because sometimes you can take. How do you negativity and then wash it out of you where it don't affect you personally? How do you do that?
Oh Lord, let me tell you. People who perfect example. I will get a text message. Hey, how are you? I'm great. I don't know who this person is. Oh, I like, okay, who is this person? And the person will say, oh, it's like that. That's the lingo. And I said, oh, no, it's not like that. I just don't know who this is. Who is this? So the person told me who it was. I said, okay. You saved in your phone. Now you got the scenario, right? No, you're not saved in my phone because I refuse to allow you to take any of my time. It's male or female. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to give you any more of my time. My time is precious. That's something I can't get back. So unless we have some type of connection, some type of way that's going to be in a positive atmosphere, then no, you will not be saved in my phone. You have to stop giving your time away to everybody. Everybody does not get your time. Like me, I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that because there's enough people in the world to be able to distribute. I'm just saying. So therefore, I would not just give my time to you because you call me, you have my number, whatever the case may be. We spoke in the past, in the future, or you maybe want to, in the present. But if there's no value there, why are we connected? Stop allowing people to just be connected with you and they don't give you any type of value, but you allowing them to take your time, to be able to negotiate your time. And now you are trying to make up time for the time that you done gave away to somebody who didn't give you no value. That makes no sense. So you have to make a sound decision of how much time and how much value so you can be able to balance it out.
Wow.
That's why you get a 15-minute discovery call. You get 15 minutes. I used to say 30 minutes. I seen 30 minutes. I was like, this is a drag out fight. I don't, because you telling me in a short amount of time, if you know what you want and you know that you need help, you should be able to knock that bad boy out in 5 minutes and I could be able to pick it up. Now I'm gonna give you the extra 5 minutes. So that means you gave me 5, I give you 5, and now that's 5. Make a decision.
Now let me ask you a question. Why do you run from that prophetic gift that you got?
Well, man, I'm not. What do you mean?
You have an insight in people. I pick up stuff too from people, but you see things in people, and you reveal it, and it comes to you in a manner, but you never look at that like, okay, Lord, you've given me a gift. You give me a gift to speak, but you also give me a gift of insight. And you never speak about it. Honestly, it's over an hour I've been talking to you. So I've been listening to that Christian side of that gift. You talk about the faith, but there are things that you pick up. I am sure you've been talking to me over an hour. You done picked up some things about me, which I'm sure you'll probably tell me outside after this place. But I want to know now, since we're on radio. But do you think you have a gift?
I know I have a gift
of insight.
I know I have a gift.
You don't talk about it much. Is it something you're afraid of?
No, it's not something I'm afraid of. It's like you don't have to put everything out there. You don't have to put everything out there. You just don't. You put everything out there, and then it's like now you want to go and take it back. No, this is between me and him. This don't have nothing to do with the world. If I'm speaking to you, empowerment that speaks to your soul says enough. Now, what you pick up from that is up to you, right? So if you read my book, you're empowered. If I'm speaking to you, you're empowered. Did you pick it up?
Are those your real eyes?
Yes, these are my eyes.
Okay, I'm looking. She's gazing in my eyes. I'm trying to conduct the interview. She's gazing her eyes at me. People, help me out. Now, I'm kids. It's a little bit.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, we see so much violence, dysfunction in kids, and I've had educators on here. I had Candace Down Barnes and Todd Parker, who was Parker and Education Associates, who's one of my sponsors. And he was talking about the social skills, the dysfunctional that we have kids growing up in a dysfunctional society with no social skills. How would you change that? And what's your thoughts about the society kids?
Where's the parents?
I could tell that's a tough because her eyes go up like this and woo, go ahead.
Where's the parents? The parents put too much on the schools and they blame everybody else. They blame the system. Where's the parents? Where's the parents? It's too much. It's like when we have these children, it's our duty to mold them for the real world. That's our duty, right? We're supposed to equip them with the tools that they need so they can be able to survive out here, right? And if you are too busy in the club majority of the time, but you're not investing in your children every single day, some loose nuggets that you could have been dropping into them, right? You're not monitoring what they're doing. You're just letting them loose. Just saying, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but you took on this assignment of being a parent, right? And so you have to be able to do your part. Have to do your part and stop blaming and pointing the finger at somebody else to be able to pick up the pieces that you choose not to pick up.
Now, what about the parents that's fighting each other?
Oh, I've been there, done that.
Because there's so many, like I got 3 sons. I love them to death, but I had to go through court twice for my sons. Mm-hmm. So what about how big of an influence does that have on the growth of the kids?
That's coming out of my next book, Do I Not Matter? The single parents. And what happens? Because it's not just the father. That's the thing. People put yes, we get a lot of perks as being a mother. We really do. Not necessarily the case.
Come on, finally, somebody say that.
It's not necessarily the case. Some of these women out here are bitter. They're too busy holding the children as pawns. They're too busy mad at the father. But let's be clear that you choose to lay down with that person. Be honest with it. You choose to lay down with that person. So if you choose not to do your history on that person, you choose not to do the background, or you choose not to do the work on yourself before you got with this person, but you choose to produce these children, you got to deal with it. It was not easy raising these children and dealing with just looking at, when I think about Do I Not Matter, I look at my parents. I look at them, but not only do I look at them, I look at what happened before them. Because somebody is too busy suffering in silence. You know what I mean? That's how all the abuse take place. That's all the people getting molested take place. This is how our children go astray. Nobody want to stand up because they'll say that's not my business. You don't supposed to talk about what's going on in this household, all that craziness. But this right here is hurting me and I need help. Right? And so now you have these children, you teaching them how to be quiet too. And that's not okay. We have to be able to be these parents that's going to be able to come together some type of way. I don't know, some type of way. And it may not be for everybody to be able to come together and to co-parent, as they say nowadays. I'm like, co-parent? I don't know about no co-parent. But That needs to happen, because I look at my children and I was like, dang, things could have been a little bit different if this was happening, or if I could have did things a little bit better. But I had to learn that. When you are a student and you're ready to learn, the teacher will present. Right? So if our children are the students, the parents are the teachers, you got to show up.
Come on. Come on. Now, take me into a typical day of Vanessa Canterbury coaching. I call you, Vanessa, I'm crazy. Help me out, please.
No, I just got somebody who just told me this.
I meant it as a joke, but
no, somebody had read my book, okay, and she's like, I'm going through so much. I know I need help, and she listed a whole, and I was like, good Lord, a whole lot of stuff. And I said, well, just let me know what's the best time. I couldn't read the whole thing because it was just a lot. It just hit me. I said, hold on, because again, if you go down this whole thing here, and I'm reading this, well, I got to hear this too. I don't need double work. So I turned around and told the lady that, schedule time where you and I could be able to connect. And I made it clear, you got 15 minutes. Now, if we go over, that happens.
Okay.
And so she was like, she said, I'm ready. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm ready. And I said, okay. Once we connect, I will be able to just listen. You have to listen. A coach needs to listen to whatever she's going through. But then I also will be able to find out, how did you get to this point? What happened in your life before this point? Because there was something that transpired in your life before you got here. Ago, maybe it was 10 years ago, maybe you've been like this all your life, but what happened before this point that allowed you to stay stuck? Because the thing is, you need to get unstuck at yourself from this thing that's keeping you here. Get to that point, I could be able to move forward. And then whatever you want to do in your life, let's do a brain dump, because we do the matrix.
A brain dump.
You have to do a brain dump because we're the matrix. The matrix meaning that, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Okay, you just talking about all the stuff you want to do. That's the matrix. You're everywhere. That means you're not going to do it. Period. You're not going to do it because you're just over here doing all of this other stuff, right? And so when you do a brain dump, you can see it on paper. Process of elimination. Now let's take this off of paper and let's find out how we can be able to help you to monetize this. That's the thing, because there's something out there that you could be able to do that you can monetize off of, but you don't know how because you was too busy doing the matrix. You're everywhere, right? Especially if you've been working in corporate America for so long, you are told what to do. Lady reached out to me and she told me, she said, well, somebody had, this doctor had referred her to me, and they were with this other, what it was, but she said, she told me, you have to speak to Vanessa. And I was like, what is so special about Vanessa? I don't know. And so the lady said, well, she told me I have to speak with you. I said, okay. So I was like, well, what's going on? And once we had the conversation, the one thing that stuck out, she said, is I want to be able to do my business, but my job makes it hard. Hear what?
I want to do my business, but my job makes it hard. You just answered their own question.
No, that didn't make sense.
Right.
Think about it. Your job makes it hard. How was your job making it hard? Because let's be clear. If anything, your job done made it easy for you, because they told you what time to be at work, what time you're going to get off, how much money you're going to make. You know what I mean? Good. So your job is making it hard. No, your job is not making it hard. They told you every single thing that you're supposed to do, and they let you off for 2 days and let you be free to do whatever you want to do. So you go back to the slave ship whenever. So your job is not making it hard. You are making it hard. But let's talk about hard. Hard is when you got to turn around and start your business from the ground up. Sure that people can believe in what you do. Hard is making sure that your client is satisfied. Hard is making sure that if there's referrals or whatever the next level that you want to go to, and you still want to be to constantly be able to build that thing. Wow. So now again, is your job hard?
The job is the best thing.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's good. Now, the hard's coming up. Do you work with a group of people, or are you just...
God, it's getting so crazy. When I say it's getting crazy, it's getting bad. So many people reach out to me, and now it's like to the point where I do one-on-one coaching, And now I'm creating a whole program to be able to do group coaching. I don't want to make it so big because I don't want people getting lost along the way. Because a lot of times if you are in a group setting, people don't answer their questions. They don't ask those questions that they need to ask. They sit back in the background, right? But I want to be able to make it to a point where you could be able to ask 10 people, right? Ask your questions, because there's no such thing as a dumb question.
That's right.
Ask the question to move forward and get those answers that you need. So now I'm creating something soon to be able to do a group setting of coaching people to be able to, there's a 2-part to it. One part is they probably not ready to start their business, but they need to get unstuck from being broken.
Okay.
The next one is, why are they in their business but they're stuck and they can't go to that next level? Because you can have a business and you can have a W-2 mindset too. Okay. Because it's easy to revert back. If you don't constantly keep working on that mindset, you could easily revert back. Part now you're set back and you wonder why nothing is happening, because you done gave up in your business. I did it. That's how I can speak about it.
So you probably at one point probably be looking for motivational speakers and play people.
I don't know what I'm looking for yet.
She said, I don't know. I'm like, don't ask me all the questions. So where do you want Inspired by Vanessa to go? Do you want to be a household name? Mr. Canterbury, I mean, you know, you got people like Lisa Nichols and you have Tony Robbins and people like that. Will it be like Vanessa Canterbury?
Wherever God is ready to take it. I don't want to put a label. There's only one Lisa Nichols. There's only one Tony Robbins. Well, there's only one Vanessa Canterbury too. Now, how high God is ready to take me, then I'm ready to go. Because that's where eagles go. They fly. Right? And I'm ready to fly.
Well, tell us something about Vanessa Canterbury that, like, I like to cook. No. You know, I might not. You can't cook?
I could cook, but I have somebody behind me that's a chef, so I don't need to do all that.
She's a chef?
Yes.
What you cook good?
Everything. Jesus, fix it. I would never lose weight messing with her. I'm just saying, amen.
Hey, I was forced to lose weight a year ago. 417 pounds.
You was who?
417 pounds.
Jesus.
I had that gastric sleeve surgery.
Ooh.
April 12th this month made a year.
Ooh.
And I went from 417 to 253 now.
Whoa.
From Rerun to Denzel.
I can't.
Hercules.
I can't.
And but I love to cook. Now I can't eat nothing. Like going on a restaurant with me, and people laugh at me because when I go to a restaurant, I order what they order. Because I know like when I go to Olive Garden and you go to Olive Garden with me, whatever you order, I order the same thing. Because the bread and the soup.
Oh,
therefore, the meal, instead of wasting it, I have it there. You can take this home because this is what you ordered, and therefore you won't lose money. But me going to Ruth Chris or somebody like that, we gonna pay $200-300 for it, that's a waste of time for me. But yeah, I remember, man, huge. You probably don't look like that. Wow, he was really, Look on my Facebook page, see some of my pictures. You be like, whoa, Hercules. I see y'all. Don't be laughing now. You know.
They say, you know, don't judge people how the cover. What I've been through.
You know, I am very inspired. And, you know, it's not so many times I have shows that people really blow me away and inspire me, but you have. Are you speaking somewhere soon, or where can people see you?
Well,
or people that hear you now, you probably got about 50 new clients to 100,000 new clients. Where can they?
Amen.
But where are you speaking somewhere soon?
Well, I am speaking in California.
You traveling around the world?
I'm traveling. My schedule is crazy from like June to December.
About my show?
I don't know. I kid you not. I have no clue. It's crazy with social media. How you will be able to find things on social media. I have no clue. Wait a minute. Tamara, I can't think of her last name. She wrote a book. She been doing features. I think it's features on Chicago Fire or something like that. Chicago Med. I cannot think of Tamara's last name.
Oh.
But yeah, I seen her on your page, and maybe that's where it came from.
Now, do you live in the western suburbs?
No, I live in the south suburbs.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you might see me on Town 19, Hercules. But yeah, it's like wow. You reached out, and I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And
I was shocked when I checked it. But
yeah.
I was shocked when I seen it. I was like, okay. Yeah.
And I appreciate you doing this, and I'm very blown away. Now, getting unstuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always tell people all the time that your way out, God gave you by what you do well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You talked about something that was very hard for me, and it's letting go people that carry dead weight.
Okay.
That is such an emotional challenge because what if that person your husband? What if that person is your brother, your sister? How do you get through those emotions to be able to walk away?
I had to do that. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary for my own sanity. Do you want peace in your house when you go out and about? Or are you too busy worrying about other people and distributing to your peace? You have to make up your mind. You got to have that made up mind that I'm going to have me some peace, and I don't need your permission to get this peace because this is mine. I don't need you to disrupt anything because I can do all the disruption I want to because I know I'm a mess anyway. And even though I have this right now, I've come a long way, but I still got some mess on me that's still working on. But I refuse to allow you or anybody else, I don't care who you are, to come up on here and just disrupt this peace. So you could go over there and take your mess over there and let me go over here and get this peace. There's nothing like a peace of mind. I want to wake up in the morning and have a peace of mind. I want to have some clarity. I am on an assignment. You have to look at it that way. You are on an assignment because we are here for a short amount of time. And whatever you do in this time frame, it was the time you was born, and it was the time that you was let go. It was time to go up with the Lord. But what did you do in between that time? You know what I mean? What is your resume? What do your bio look like? Because he's going to look at that. Right? You know, he knows your heart. When you have that heart relationship with him, that's what matters.
That's right.
Right? And so he's going to give you that peace of mind if you allow him to give you that peace of mind. But if you allow other people to make that decision on how much peace they're going to give you, then you're going to keep on being disrupted. Sleep all just discombobulated because you allow somebody else to control your peace. So when it's time for you to be able to submit your bio, you want him to come back to you and say, what? Job well done. So when are you going to stop and just allow yourself to be able to do your job well? So when he says job well done, that's what matters. All that other stuff, that doesn't matter. Because he's going to bring those people that's going to give you some real peace. The people that's supposed to be in your place, in your space at that time. Is that making sense?
Yes, it does.
So you have to let those people go. You really do. And I had to be okay with that, of letting those people go. I could go on and on about what people done said about me and what people done to me for all my life. But I had to learn. They got some craziness going on with them that they choose not to face and deal with. That has nothing to do with me.
Yes, right.
So I'm going to go over here and get what God has for me. Because the devil works overtime. Answer to the devil, then he going to keep on working you overtime too.
That's true.
So I don't need you to work me over when I got stuff to do.
That's the formal question.
Which
Give
one?
us a talent.
No, we talk about so many things. The hidden talent.
That you might even surprise your daughter with.
Right. What's hidden talent? I don't know. I could write. Well, I haven't written in so long. I used to write poems. He's right.
You know, tomorrow we have our spoken word. Speak Your Soul Thursday night with a spoken word. I've been trying a few of them. I did a few of them. I debuted last week. Then a few of them.
I have found some when I was writing, and that's how I started. I started writing. It was that's how I released my pain, my frustration, because I used to just like blur it out. But I started writing, and when I was writing, I was releasing. No.
You know, I was gonna put on fuzzy like, nah, I remember.
But you know what? I noticed that in my one of my chapters in my book called Dear You, and at the very, I thought I was done with it, but in Dear You, at the very end of it, it was talking about it flipped the switch. And it was basically closing out how instead of you asking me what have I been doing all my life, you should have been asking me, do I forgive you? And it went on about saying, we could be able to find it. Hold on now. I think it's in here. Here we go, right here.
Go
At
ahead.
the very end, it was talking about it shocked me sometimes when I still read my book. Jesus, Lord, help me. And it was like, okay, I figured the main question that you should have asked is, do I forgive you? I forgave you when I knew early on that this was going to be an unfamiliar journey that I didn't pay attention to, and I should have. I should have allowed myself to not give you permission to fill the void that I was missing, or allowing you to be my source for resources instead of me being knowledgeable to research and seek sound advice. I lean on you and to mold and shape me when I should have been positioned to do so myself. I opened up to you thinking you were my saving grace when actually I needed to be saved. From all I endured, I learned to forgive myself so I may become a better version of me in order to be a strong woman nobody wanted me to be.
Is these copies for the host?
Yeah, I will go ahead and give it to you.
I mean, I support.
Yeah, I sign
support. How much are these books?
Both books are $10 each. Yeah,
Okay.
so I will sign them over for you.
You know, I believe in supporting it, so the solutions will buy them.
Oh, okay.
I will buy them because I believe in supporting people. And speaking of that, people, I have a GoFundMe page, you know, to support the solutions. Please support the radio show, The Solutions. You can go on my page, Corey Wright. Whatever you want to donate, you know, keep this voice, this vital voice to and for the community, lifting us up. We always support negative things. Let us support positive things. If this show has been a blessing to anyone out there, please support the show. And to show you that the show support the artists, I am going to buy these books, $10 a piece. I am going to buy them. So to show you that we support our own, because and I know exactly who these books are going to. Darlene, they're going to Darlene you right away. I'll get them back from you, but I know you need these books, and I'm definitely gonna buy them.
It's crazy now that men are reaching out to me who have ordered my books. And I was like, what is the one guy, a pastor, he wound up tagged me on Facebook. He said, oh my God, if y'all don't get this book, so much about me. And I'm a man, but you know, you never know who your audience could possibly end up being. So you just, again, you always got to share your story. You have to share your story.
All right. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about your business. Okay. How many months does the coaching sessions go, or could it be a recurring thing for years, or what's the initial setup for coaching?
Well, coaching, you could be able to coach with me 3 months and then 6 months. And the reason why I don't do a year is because that's a long extended period of time, right? And I want you to involve. I want you to be able to go and do the work on yourself. And if you need to come back, you can always be able to come back. But 3 to 6 months is what I do, a one-on-one coaching. And then when I start doing my group sessions, it's going to be like a intense master coaching sessions for like 6 to 8 weeks. And it's just going to be able to take people through various journey. I already started on one, is to be able to help people to birth their purpose. Because sometimes people just don't know how to get that started. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing next.
Now, have you ever had a 911 coaching session? that was like, this is it. I can't take no more, Vanessa. I'm about to jump off this building.
No, I haven't experienced that one.
Never had one at all.
No, I have not experienced that one. I did have people reach out to me and say some things, and I said, call me right now, something like that, but not to the point where they're going to jump for the bridge. But I do have a lot of people reach out to me. They said, you know what? Every time you post something, I'm always looking out for it. Crazy part about it, because I had stopped, and we're going to rewind a little bit. I stopped posting and putting up just because I could not put it out there anymore. In Halloween 2010, my brother was killed. And I was always sending out messages every single day. And it got so big, it was like a group of people email. It was huge. Every day before I started my day at work, I would send out messages. And people was like, dang, where are you getting this? I don't know where it's coming from. It just comes out. And so when my brother was killed, I couldn't even post nothing. And people would inbox me and text me like, I didn't see the post. I'm like, there's nothing. I can't give you anything. I'm empty. I can't give you nothing. And it was to the point where I remember my kids getting on my page, and it was like, man, I just wish your mom would be able to post. And she's like, she can't. But when she do, she'll come back. And so little by my brother was killed in Chicago, walking down the street. Broad daylight. It was, gangs, how do you want to get in gangs or whatever. And he was walking down the street and they killed him. Wow. And he wasn't in the gang, but that's the violence that goes on. This is why I'm very verbal more and more now about you just don't understand that. That's why another reason why I have to get my book out. The Do I Matter? Because that's related to a lot of the kids straying. And so I turned around, and when I came back to be able to start posting, it came back with a vengeance, like boom, boom, boom. It was just crazy. I was like, oh Lord. And so you just don't know, your messages is really helping me. And I was like, really? And it was like, yes, I'm going through it. And so I'm making my business to post. People want me to come and do Facebook Lives more, and I'm like, I'm trying, but I'm so, my schedule is like crazy sometimes. And so business to just constantly keep giving it, because you just never know who needs to hear from you, and you never know who's watching at the same time.
I only do Facebook Live, and I'm thinking about doing Facebook Live a little bit more.
Oh yeah, but Facebook Live.
I only do it more now that your daughter showed me how to do it, because I upgraded before I came here. Then it just flipped everything around.
Oh yeah, Facebook Live is the way to go. Everything is this. I tell people, if you could stream, you could stroll through social media. If you could be able to see the garbage that's going on, then you need to have a business. Right. Because people are online. People are out there. They want to know, what can you do? What message that you could be able to bring to people? You'll be surprised. People who reached out to me, been speaking on stage. That's how I started speaking. Somebody reached out to me who she worked with Les Brown. That's the crazy part about it. I was like, speak for what? What you want me to do? And I was not speaking at the time. I never thought about coach. I never thought. I said I was going to have my direct sales business, build that up, get my book out. I'm good. That's what I said I was going to do, but it just got to the point where it was just, oh, wow, really?
You got so much passion, so much fire. So what Vanessa going? What inspires you?
Knowing that I want to make a better impact. I have 2 grandchildren. Better impact, yes.
Your young self got grandkids?
Yes. No, not her.
Oh, okay.
Everybody think it's her. No. I want to make a bigger impact on my grandchildren. See, this is the thing. Time is something that you can't get back, as we spoke about earlier, right? And I was working, and my children, I had to get up, I had to take them to daycare, I had to take them to school, whatever the case may be, after school activities, whatever that was. That's time I couldn't get back because I was working a job, right? And so now that I have the opportunity to be able to be home, or to be able to make that time when I want to go pick up my grandson from school, whatever the case may be, I could be able to do that. I don't have to ask for your permission to do it either. Right? Yeah. And so those little moments mean the best, because you can't get it back. But I want to make sure I leave that impact on them to be able to know that it's possible. Now my children think different. She's opening up her own business. We're going to work on that next because they seen what happens when you work a job. And mom worked a job. Mom made sure the roof was on the table. We didn't go for nothing. We didn't go without. You know what I mean? They didn't have materialistic stuff because I'm not into that, but still. But they also understood when that job said your service is no longer needed, then what? So they understand it. They see me go through it. And so I want to make sure that I leave a bigger impact so they could be able to have a bigger impact on their children. And so on and so forth. I'm just saying, we're going to build some empires up in here. Right. We're going to show other people that it's possible to build some empires up in here. And it's not about the color of your skin, how old you are, what size you are, where you come from. But you have to know that anything is possible. If you truly believe that there's possibility in you and you have another day to breathe, that you could be able to make it possible. But you got to be willing to get up out the trench, because I can't come and meet you halfway if you're not getting in the trenches with me. You know, we gonna work this thing out. My son be up there dropping off books and everything else. My daughter be like, okay, mom, what else you need to do? And she got to answer my phone. We gonna do this thing together, because you have to be able to know there's more in you. There's more in you. If you were around the right people, you will have no choice but to move. I could motivate you all day long. I could, give you all of that. Okay, and what you gonna do with it? This guy said, I listen to a lot of speakers and everything else, and I'm taking all the information. I said, are you writing the information down that you speaking to all these speakers? And he was like, I said, well, you're not doing nothing with it.
That's right.
You just picking up the phone and okay, that's nothing. You're not doing anything with the tools that they are giving you. Les Browns and Tony, okay, and what are you taking away from that and implementing so you can be able to do something? What legacy are you going to leave? Okay. We have the people who work on and they built this foundation on their back. You telling me that you in the land of opportunity and you're not going to create you an opportunity, build you an opportunity, expose an opportunity? You're not going to do any of that, but you'll be a consumer. When was the last time Jordan came to the hood? But you wearing his Jordans.
That's good. Yeah, he sure don't come to the.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be real careful, because now Jordan's son is over there running his business. You know what I'm saying? I need my children to be able to run multiple businesses. It's not too late. It's only late if you say it's late.
Wow. Now, you don't coach everybody in business.
No, I don't.
You got to be able to see how you can help them.
No, it's not that. It's like, are you willing to be open enough? Expose it. You want me to see the surface? No, I don't want to see just your website. You know what I mean?
Well, let's take the solutions. Let's take my radio show. Let's take Minister Corey Wright. Mm-hmm. How can you coach me to turn the solutions into a global phenomenon?
You have to look at your platforms. I have to look how you marketing. I have to look at, where's your website? Do you have the money is in a list? Do people know about that? No, they don't. The list. Do you have a website?
Yes.
Do you have people subscribing to your website?
No.
Okay, then you lost money.
I like it. Okay.
It's money in that list, because when people go to my website, they have the opportunity to be able to get my Shift in the Map, able to get my Shifting Your Mindset book for free, right? Before I take it down. And so now they have the opportunity to get an insight of me. I'm sending anything out of what I'm doing, they will be able to be attached to me some type of way to stay in contact. What she's doing next. I've been watching her, but how I can't keep up with all this. They say that the Facebook, you only go up so much. You only can see so many people. Like I got almost 5,000 people on my page.
Wow.
So if I got 5,000 people on my page, but only 400 of you guys are seeing my information, and what's about my list? Get them over to your list, your mailing list. So that's one right there, check mark right there.
All right, I see I got my shirt. I checked myself.
So that right there, you need to be able to get that up and going. Can they be able to find every single thing that you're doing on your website and it's not overwhelming? When you went to my website, was you able to see every single thing that I did on my website?
Yes, it was amazing.
And I built that website. Somebody told me I couldn't build that website. You see what I'm saying? Don't allow anybody to tell you that you cannot do something when you could do it. You just got to sit down somewhere and do it.
So come on, man. You inspire. You are bad. You are people of God. I told you she was awesome. You love. Tell you so. I know you love your family, love your kids, but tell us some of the things you love to do for recreation. What do you love to go? What do you love to do?
I don't travel just to be able to have fun travel. I want to be able to start doing some of that. Me and my daughter was just talking about that. That's crazy. We want to be able to travel more and do some of the things I wasn't able to do with my kids when they was younger. So that's something that we're going to be putting in place hopefully this year. Get my life together and take that time out and just have that time to be able to sit back, reevaluate some things, and go from there. Then a lot of times people don't have conversations about money. Family don't have conversations about money, their future. So, sitting down with my kids to talk about what's for the future. We need to be able to do that, not just with our families, but the people that's close, the ones that we love genuinely. I'm just saying, we need to have those, you know what I mean? Because people could be there just to be riding your coattail, but are they really there to be able to see you win? Are they willing to be there to support you? Are they willing to be at that finish line? Are they willing to be able to see you at that starting line? I'm just saying, you got to be able to get all of that together and just, love on that.
And, let me ask you my question. And, I've asked you questions, but let me ask you my question. How do you get over the trust issue? By you being successful, I'm sure you make good money doing what you do. It's just like me doing radio. My show has really taken off. It reached people. It reached you. It reached people. People want they want the exposure, but don't want to invest. Or people want to use you for what they can get, opposed to let me invest in the machine. I just want the benefits of it. How do you deal with people like that?
I don't. I used to. I don't. Stop being the like I'm over here person. I ain't got time for that. I just don't have no energy for that. I no longer. You can't take it personal because they're structured that way. That's what that is. They're structured that way. They are structured to be able to just take and let people take from them. They're takers. That's what I call them. Those are takers, right? And the ones that's going to give, they're going to give it automatically. They don't question it. The ones that's ready for change, they're like, where do I sign up? You have to be able to know your audience, because everybody watching is not your audience.
Wow, that's deep.
You know what I mean? So once you start to learn who your audience, and the audience will change every season. Right. Oh, No, you don't trust everybody. So you have to build that. Are you willing to take the time to build that? And sometimes people, I'm going to deal with you accordingly. If you show me, if I pick up some type of something that's not right, I'm going to deal with it. My kids, great insight, as you say, on I could be able to smell foolishness a mile away. I could smell it a mile away.
I gotta work on my nose because they get right up on me and bite me before I can smell it.
What that is just making sure that I have my wall up, but it's not high.
That's deep.
Because I still got to be able to peek over that wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I know you peeking over here at me. I know you've been watching what I'm doing all this time, so I know you watch. So I'm watching you too. You just don't know that I'm watching you. you know what I mean?
You intense, boy. You fine. You know what I like about when you get to talking to my eyes start. You know what I mean? I'm over here like Earl, stand right here, protect me, because he's like, our show is winding down a little bit. We got about another 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. I want you to take 10 minutes. We have about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I want you to give our listeners a message. And I don't want, not one I dictate, but what God has put in you to give them a message of hope, empowerment right now.
Mm.
Oh, before you do that, we have a Vanessa Canterbury exclusive.
You have to stop being hopeless and understand there is hope. You have to understand that there is hope, but you have to know, I mean, with all your being, like your whole being, your truth. Oftentimes we don't want to face our truth. So of course we're going to run from our truth. And therefore when we are faced against adversity, we will find a way to escape that. Stop running. There's no need for you to run, because every time you run, you keep running into a brick wall. It's time for you to go ahead and give up. No, I need to surrender it all. Not partial. Stop picking and choosing your blessings, because it don't work that way. If you're going to surrender, you're going to surrender it all, so he could be able to heal you wholeheartedly, so you could be free. And not be free if you picking and choosing when he going to bless you, because he been waiting to bless you for a long time. Right? And so if he's going to go ahead and bless, you got to let him do what he does best. And he don't need your permission. He don't need your time limits. Stop putting that placement on him when you too busy putting explanations when you should have been putting periods.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So you got to be able to just let it all go. When I say let it all go, you're going to let every single thing go. He does best. You may not like it. Of course you're not going to like it, because it's change. But in order for you to be elevated, you got to change. Your bank account match up how you looking right now.
Your bank account. Wow.
You know what I mean? You broke because you're broken.
Oh, come on. Say that again. That is good. That is good. What I mean? You're broke because you're broken.
Yeah. Broken comes from so many levels. It's not just financial. I mean, you keep entering into a storm, and you should have been coming through that storm a long time ago, but you're not learning the lessons behind that storm. So when you really ready to be able to see hope, you're going to surrender, so you don't keep feeling this brokenness over here. You got to free it up, but you got to surrender. Surrender is release, transition, change. But if you don't want none of that, go over there and complain somewhere else to somebody else that's going to listen to it. But don't get mad when those invitations are returned to sender, because sometimes people get tired of the pity party. So you want to have a pity party, stay over there with your pity party. Don't go ahead and send out the invitation, because they're going to return back to you. But at the same time, you got to be careful what you put out there. If you put foolishness out there, it's going to come right back to you. Hope. You got to surrender. You have to. And you're not going to like it, because I didn't like it at all, because it was new. But new was good. It's really, really good. Bad enough. And I want it bad enough because I no longer want to sit here and be in my self-pity. I no longer wanted this depression. I no longer want to sit here and contemplate. I no longer want to be here. I no longer wanted to give in to what people said I was not going to be. Everything that somebody told me I was not going to be an author. I'm a best-selling author. Matter of fact, I'm a 3-time best-selling author working on my next book. Amen. Hello. Somebody told me that I would not speak. Hello. I speak for the voiceless. Somebody told me I wasn't going to coach, but I'm coaching all day long, all around the world. So somebody told me I was not going to bounce back, but I have multiple streams of income. So you could do it, but you have to want it bad enough. So you go ahead, press play, activate that faith. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You may not like me when you come in contact with me, but you're going to love me when I'm done with you.
All right. Look like you got another client. People of God. Thank you guys for tuning in. I pray that Vanessa Canterbury have blessed you. Give them again your information so they can reach you.
You can reach me at inspiredbyvanessa.com. You can also email me at inspiredbyvanessa@gmail.com.
Okay. People of God, you have to get up and be your own rescue. Change has to be made. You have to make it. God has already given you the answers to the change in your life. It's what you do better. You just got to listen. We had an amazing show. I thank you so much. I'm planning on having you on my show. Solutions are a partner with you. Whatever you do, let me know. I thank you for these books. I take care of you off the and People of God, get on your knees and pray and realize that tomorrow is what you make it today. Good one. Peace, love you. Solution loves you. Peace.
Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. You just get on board. Get on board. You don't need no ticket. You just get on board. So people get ready for the train to glory, picking up passengers coast to